So,
So,
good morning to please.
good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir. So, let me introduce you to the program, then we'll start. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the fifth day session of marketing on marketing strategies during difficult times. Today, we have with us Professor Vidhu Bhushan Mishra. Professor Vidhu Bhushan Mishra, the former head of Department of Business Administration and Dean of Faculty of Business Studies and Management, Utkal University. He has completed his BLEAD and a faculty development program in management IIM Ahmedabad, also Commonwealth Academic Fellow, Cardiff University, UK. He's the chairman of AIMS Odisha chapter. He has guided 39 scholars for PhD and one scholar for DLEAD degree. And there are a number of publications on near about 95 research papers published in national and international journals and 7 books to his credit. He visited a number of countries like United Kingdom, Korea, Thailand, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh for different academic activities. He is awarded the prestigious POSCO Asia Fellowship in 2007 and Commonwealth Academic Fellowship in 2013. He has attended more than 150 seminars, including Ambisa forums and WhatsApp, both at national and international level, and chaired few of them. He has completed projects funded by UGC, PZ Park Foundation, Seoul, IOCL, uh, IMTAT, OMFED, CYSD, IOSL, etc. He has conducted several training programs, management development programs for corporate houses, including India Post, East Coast Railway, IPCO, UCO Bank, NALCO, TLS, etc. In the editorial board of the few journals and review papers. He has handled several administrative responsibility of the university as the member and chairman of various committees, and also instrumental in signing MOU with international bodies like ICRISCT and BARC for rural development. So now I welcome you, sir, to the session, fifth day session of marketing. Now I request, sir, to start the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the nice words about me. I don't know because the expectations of the participant might have increased with these words. Anyway, let us share whatever experiences I am having in this particular field called marketing research. And everybody knows that marketing during difficult time is a big question for every corporate house. Why is that become a big question mark? Because of several reasons. The first and most important reason is when the organizations or the in mind, this particular FDP has been designed keeping in mind various components of marketing and its implication in designing some marketing strategy during difficult time. And the best example for this difficult time can be the COVID-19 and the subsequent lockdown, which is imposed for more than 6 months and has uh, uh, created havoc throughout the world, both in terms of pandemic, its infection and casualty, and its impact on life and livelihood, and so on and so forth. Keeping this in mind, whatever we have seen earlier, the stability in the market that has already been disturbed, that equilibrium in the market is changing, and organizations are tilting towards how to manage their own business in this difficult time. Just hold on for a second. Oliver. Hello. क्लास स्टार्ट दीजिए क्लास स्टार्ट थी तो 12टा 12:30 हमको 12:30 में कहे पहुँचे क्लास क्लास So, keeping this in mind, this FTP is definitely going to help a lot to one and all whoever is participating in this one. Mostly the academicians and the business practitioners is going to be benefited out of this. So keeping this in mind, what essential management needs? Management wants to take decisions, and the decisions invariably surrounded by uncertainties and therefore risk. Because risk essentially is a part of any kind of business. Because the risk comes because of the uncertainties, and uncertainties come from the environment. Might be in the second day when you talk about this marketing environment, you might have seen lot many uncertainties that is coming from the environment itself. Recently, because of this, maybe it's something like political, legal, it may be physical, it may be something like a technological, it may be anything for the purpose. Everything put together creates something like a situation called uncertain. Sometimes we talk about this VUCA acronyms for the purpose. That is volatility, you see uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. This is what the characteristics of the uncertain markets. Keeping this in mind, marketing research is charged with helping to reduce such uncertainties, but will never remove it. We have to keep it in mind that marketing research can help us in reducing, but not in completely removing it. At best, marketing research will increase the probability that the decisions which the management has to take will help attain the organization's marketing objective. Essentially, it is marketing objective, but overall business objective of the firm. So keeping this in mind, marketing research is quite important in achieving organized marketing objective as well as the business objective as a whole. What is this marketing research? Let us start with a very general definition about what research is. Research is a systematic process of investigation into and study of materials and sources, etc., in order to establish facts and reach to a new conclusion. What it means? First, you start with the concept. Research is a systematic process. Obviously, we'll discuss them in the detailed latter part, but it's a systematic as well as a sequential process through which the researcher has to move from problem identification till arriving at the conclusion. And sometimes the conclusions may be new, but sometimes also the conclusions can be the existing one, but the research is conducted as a confirmation to the existing conclusion. So this confirmation of the knowledge or creating new knowledge can be two important objectives of research. Similarly, research is an endeavor to discover new or collect old facts, etc., by scientific study of a subject or by a course of critical investigation. Essentially, what we talk about here three things. It is basically discovering new or collect the old facts, the first part. It's a scientific study or a course of critical investigation. I'm putting an example. When we talk about a thesis, the existing knowledge, an antithesis, an argument which is just opposite to the existing knowledge, then the synthesis, the new knowledge that is coming out. Means research, this scientific study essentially talks about thesis, antithesis, and the synthesis as the process through which we are able to discover new facts or new idea or collect the old one. So essentially, research is focusing on both the aspects. First, when arriving at a new conclusion or finding some new facts or confirming or collating the existing facts. What is this research? Continuing, research is what we do when we have a question or a problem we want to resolve. It's not simply related to problems alone at the hand. It may be anticipated problems also. So research is what we do when we have problem. We can add that with when we can anticipate some problems in the near future. We are also interested in making research. We may already think, we may know the answer to our questions already, but still research is quite important because what we know may be sometimes quite general, maybe sometimes quite cursory in knowledge, or sometimes also very, very vague. So research need to confirm what our knowledge is and is it correct or not. If so, then what to be done. Similarly, we may think the answer is obvious, common, even sometimes the common sense. What it means, like an example, suppose a farmer is predicting whether there will be rain or not. The obvious answer is just looking at the sky, he may say that it will rain or it may not rain. But the scientific studies by meteorology department, what they do, they not only study just looking at the sky, and they also talk about the movement of the cloud. They also see the air pressure or the air pressure and other things. And also they talk about using different kinds of technological methods. They can make these predictions more accurate. Like an example, it may rain or may not rain. The answer is obvious. It may rain or may not rain. But when we're adding something to that, if it will rain, when, how much will it be heavy or scanty, where, like that. I'm adding to that, obviously called scientific research, and which is something different from the common knowledge. But until we have subjected to our problem to rigorous scientific scrutiny, our knowledge remains little more guesswork or at best an intuition. So research is quite important from that particular perspective. First, in the research, we have to formulate some our research questions, then figure out how we are going to answer it. How you are going to answer it, and these are something like helping you in answering it. Have any how have others answer to it? Means anybody else who is working in that field, and also they have worked, they have got some substantial result with that. Maybe this will be available from different kinds of review of literature or other sources. Like an example today, what is happening? The development of vaccine for this COVID virus. What is happening with that? People at different part of the world were working that particular problem. They are trying to address many such issues, but in a common platform like this, when they are sharing the knowledge, obviously their knowledge about who has done what is the level of progress, and they avoid what we call redundancy or duplications in the research. So that is very important here. Then second, maybe how does your proposal fit in with what others have done? Basically, synchronization or moving in the same line. How will we know? How will we know when you have answered it? Means basically, research is a continuous process. It focuses on that, but we go on. We continue that research to a particular point when reasonably some of the important issues get resolved. Then then we can present our answer. Means when you formulate the questions, then we are trying to find out who else is doing in that particular line or working in that particular line, and what is their progress, and then only we can present our findings when it is substantially progressed. And role of marketing research in developing marketing strategy. Here there are few questions quite important for any marketing manager. What is marketing research? Why do marketers need it? When to do or not to do it? What are the organization's involvement in marketing research industry? These are two important issues that the marketing manager asks himself. Why? The first part is obvious, because conducting any kind of research is or involves lot of money and time. So obviously the first question is, he'll ask, why should we conduct research and why the marketers need it? Whether they will go it or not. All those things have been resolved in the next slides. But the second part is, what are the organizations involved in marketing research? The marketing manager also needs to have some answer to that. The reasons are, the best obvious reasons are, because sometimes what is happening, the organism itself may involved in conducting research. It may be a department inside the organization which will be entrusted with this kind of marketing research activities. But most of them, the organizations, they search for some outside consultants or outsider consultants to conduct the marketing research, because they have the expertise and they have some trained manpower who will facilitate the process in a better way and also in a very cost effective manner. So these are the two important issues, whether to conduct the research in-house or engage some marketing research organizations, so that they can evaluate both cost and benefit of using both the sources. That is the reason why organizations are interested in knowing who else are in this particular industry, what they do, and how they can help. So these are the basic issues that the marketers raise in the initial stage, trying to define the marketing research issues and its role in marketing. Few examples can be, a manager of a food company may ask, will a packaged food improve my brand image? Or similarly, a competitor may ask, how can I monitor my sales and retail trade activities? Or the manager in the industrial tool market may ask, to whom am I losing sales, or from whom I am taking sales? These are some of the issues the marketing manager asks to himself, because these are some issues. Based on that, see the first one, manager of a food company may ask, will a package change improve my brand image? Now today might have seen there are several examples like your Horlicks. Simply changing the packages and the advertising campaign change the brand image of Horlicks. Because Horlicks earlier to be seen as something like a sick man's diet, available in medicine stores and usually purchased under prescription. But what is happening today? With the changed advertising and the packaging strategy, they have changed the brand image, not from the sick man's diet, rather a health supplement. Similarly, competitor may ask, how can I monitor my sales and retail trade activities? Because this is very, very important, because competitor might have seen the competition in the market is going to increase or maybe it's remaining stiff like that. So how to monitor the sales or the retail activities? Similarly, the manager, industrial tool means basically who are providing this, you can talk about this machineries and other things, maybe for packaging food companies or for any such company. Basically, they are competing among themselves in terms of industrial markets, whom they should focus on, from whom they will take out the market. What is marketing research? Quite important. We have already seen what research is, and marketing research is a part of overall research you can talk about, and follow the same methodology what general research methodology follows. This is a simple. The nature of marketing research is all of marketing questions as well as other related specific marketing decisions require information about how customers, distributors, and competitors will respond to that marketing decision. Here you can see these are all specific marketing decisions, not general questions. Rather, like the example of weather forecast, it's a very specific marketing decision, like the example of packaging, impact of packaging on brand image, which requires some information about the customers, distributors, and the competitors. Why these three are quite important? Because customers are the end users, while the distributors may be the intermediaries facilitating between the company or the farm and the consumers, because they help in distributing the final goods or services. But what is the role of competitors? Because competitors are very much present in the market. Not only they compete, but also they try to grab the opportunity or try to snatch your customers. So your marketing decisions ultimately become quite important in sustenance or survival in the market. Keeping this in mind, you need to take appropriate decisions by searching for required information. And who will provide it? Obviously, the answer lies in terms of marketing research, because marketing research helps you in gathering data which will be analyzed and ultimately that helps you in arriving at a decision, and that decision is one important part in the marketing strategy development. Similarly, marketing research is one of the principal tools for answering to such questions, because it links the consumer, the customer, and the public to the marketer. So essentially what is happening here, we are trying to see marketing research from different perspectives. Take an example, customers feedback. A simple kind of marketing research, but quite powerful. Maybe like in terms of exit interview in a retail mall or shopping mall. What you are asking here, you are asking few simple questions about the customer's background or something called socio-demographic information, and only one or two questions related to that particular product purchase. Whether you are happy with it or not, whether you have enjoyed the purchase situation, like that. Few simple questions, but mostly from the consumers. But the public, basically, when you talk about the market segment, which is nothing but constituted by the consumers, represents the public at large, where all the three important parties, like the customer, distributor, and the competitors, they operate. So basically, marketing research solves in answering to those questions which are raised by the marketers. A formal definition to what marketing research is: it's a systematic and objective process of generating information to aid in making marketing decisions. Very simple and quite straightforward in giving that. It's a systematic and objective process. Means marketing research starts with an objective and again follow a very systematic step-by-step process for generating information. Basically, not generating information means gathering and processing information, which will help in taking appropriate decision in a given time, and specifically in the difficult time. This process includes specifying what information is required, designing the methods for collecting information, managing and implementing the collection of data, analyzing the results, and communicating the findings and their implications. Essentially, if you see, it's a process of specifying what information is required. Very important is that is spelled out along with specifying your objectives. What information you need. Take an example. The first question which we are talking about, impact of change in packaging on brand image. Here, two important things. One is change in packaging. Second is on brand image. And the question is linked in terms of measuring the impact. So what type of information you need here? Obviously, the present packaging style, packaging style, the proposed change in packaging style. When the proposed change is presented before the customer's reaction or perception or feelings, and even when it is presented before the market, you can talk about in general feedback. Who else are also interested in your product? They can also respond to that. That is basically what we talk about specifying the information need. Here the information need can be, if you put in terms of primary and secondary data, it can be both. Primary data, obviously moving to the field, asking customers or the competitors or the salespersons about your product and its marketing, its status in the market. But secondary, maybe independent sources like your magazines and newspapers, they are also analyzing any such change that happens to a particular product. Maybe through their own research wings, they provide a lot of information, and which is quite important for us. Second, depending on the type of data you are going to collect, you design the methods for collecting it. What is the designing of methods? Methods can be many. It may be from simple observation to complex interviewing process. It may be a written questionnaire or a schedule to and something like machine-aided data collection. Like an example, using something like a mechanical device like the CCTV or camera. Camera will record the data of customers' arrival, movement inside the shop, and reaching to different persons. Even sometimes if you are recording their voice about their queries and questions, even the timing of come, shopping basket, everything mechanically recorded through your CCTV. So means the methods of collecting data depends on what type of data you need and in which perspective. Is it one-time data like in a survey, or is it a continuous data like a panel? What exactly you need? That is basically depending on the type of information, you design the methods for collection. Once you collect the data, what is to be done with that? The data itself is nothing, but when it is managed and implemented, obviously it becomes your decisions. Means in the process, you want to analyze the data and present the data. Nothing but analyzing and presenting the data is managing it, and based on the conclusion that comes out of or derived out of that need to be implemented. Basically, that is managing and implementing the data collection, analyzing the results, and finally communicating the findings and their implications. Communicating the findings to the, basically suppose you are engaging a consultant. The consultant will analyze the results. Till that it is internal, but communicating the results to the client and their implications, maybe in terms of if it is put into action or something like put into a strategy, what will be its implication? Will it help or will no, it will not help? That needs to be analyzed. So essentially, marketing research is a process of like that. It is also the planning, collection, and analysis of data relevant to marketing decision making and the communication of the results of this analysis to management. Basically, the same thing what we have discussed earlier, planning, collection, and analysis of data relevant to marketing decision making. These are all how marketing research is defined in different texts. The importance of marketing research in an organization, particularly to the marketing managers. The key functional roles of marketing research: descriptive function, diagnostic function, and one more is predictive function. So these are the three important functions. Descriptive functions precisely includes gathering and presenting statements of facts. Means it describes what is what. Maybe it is in a historic, like the example it is, what is the historic sales trend in the industry or history of sales trend, you can simply put it. What is the history of sales trend in the industry? Means you are analyzing the data over a period of time. Last 10 years, 5 years, like that. What is the sales? Is it increasing or decreasing like that? Maybe side by side, you can talk about the firm or your own organization. What is happening to that? What is the trend of sales? Is it increasing when the industry is increasing, or is it decreasing when the industry is rising, or it is increasing when the industry is in a downfall like that? Basically, we are trying to see the data in a very descriptive manner, and which is stored maybe in terms of stored in terms of both for the industry and the farm, helping the organization to know what is the trend that is happening to that industry. Second question like that descriptive function, one such a more example is, what are consumers' attitude towards a product and its advertising? There can be many such examples. Today you might have seen this fair and lovely get changed into blue and lovely. What does it mean? Basically, how consumers' attitude, what will be the consumers' attitude or acceptance to this particular product? And the advertisement which is given for this particular change, that is from fair and lovely to blue and lovely, is it effective or not? These are all questions before the marketing decisions. But descriptive function precisely focuses on describing what is what. It is like this is, suppose you are going to change the say brand name or the packaging style. Is it going to affect the consumer and his attitudes like that? You are going to make a study on that. Basically, it is called description. But what is a diagnostic function? Which explains the data in action. Basically, what is happening here? When the manager or the researcher founds that there is a set of variable which is leading and cause change in the other set of variable which is lagging it. Like an example, advertisement to sales. We believe that advertisements are linked to sales or helps in improving the sales of the farm. Considering this, what we do, we are trying to make a diagnosis between the advertising and its impact on the sales. Similar such example can be, what is the impact of sales when packaging design was changed? Like the example we have talked about earlier. Packaging design gets changed, what is its impact? So in a diagnostic form, we have to identify some of the variables as the causal variables and some of the variables as outcome variables. And this causal and outcome variable relationship explained through a diagnostic function can be put like that, impact on, or sometimes like changes, sometimes also a function of. These are all examples of diagnostic functions. Similarly, how can product or service offerings be altered to better serve the customers and the potential customers? Essentially, this is again a question based on first, product and services offered need to be altered, and what is the assumption or what is the objective behind? It will serve the customers or the potential customers in a better manner. These are all examples of diagnostic functions. Then this is a predictive function which includes specifications of how to use descriptive and diagnostic research to predict the results of a planned marketing decision. Example, how can the farm best take advantage of opportunities as they arise in an ever-changing marketplace? Good example can be now. Good example of ever-changing marketplace can be the lockdown. and this post-COVID effect. These are all very, very important things what we talk about. COVID has brought something like, or brought this lockdown throughout the world. And what is this, after the lockdown, what we call unlock? After unlocking the market, what is happening there? Is it providing some advantage or opportunity or not? Like an example, COVID has given boom to two important industries. One is the sanitizers. The other is mask, which were prior to COVID, nobody was putting any emphasis on that. These are all neglected items. But today you see sanitizers and masks has become something like rolling markets in the markets. What does it mean? Take best advantage of the opportunity that is arising out of the changing marketplace. Because marketplace is continuously ever changing that way, continuously goes and changing. With the change, some new opportunities are created and some of the existing opportunities they're out. Keeping this in mind, it is advisable to the marketer to take advantage of that. But how he can take the best advantage of that? It is only through your marketing research. And here the marketing research serves as a predictive function. These are some examples we are talking about. Unrelenting drive for quality and customer satisfaction. Because today everybody talks about, but because of this pandemic situation, most of the companies are losing their revenue and also their profit. Most of them are dragged into something called red zone or losses. In this situation, your drive for quality and customer satisfaction is very, very important. But how will maintain it? You have to go for your research. Once you go for research, you can think of alternative way of maintaining your quality and customer satisfaction. Even the customer satisfaction is so volatile, if your organization is not doing anything, they will move to other organization, even if they are with you for a long time. Similarly, keeping existing customers, another important task before the marketers. Because when the situation becomes a little difficult, customers go on changing from the existing farm to some other farm, or from the existing product to an alternative product, like that. So it becomes very, very important on the part of the marketers to keep the existing customers with them. Similarly, understanding the ever-changing marketplace, because the marketplace itself is continuously changing. It's that it's called ever-changing, continuously changing. And this continuous change will see something like ups and downs in the market. Otherwise, what we call the booms and the bends, or the something like inflation and the recession. Like that, you'll see the marketplace is changing continuously and something like ever changing, and the marketer has to take advantage of that changing market. Is marketing research a basic research or an applied research? Answer to that, obviously, marketing research, what we have seen, starts with as an applied research. Now it is it's heading towards something called a basic research. What is basic research? Is pure research. Applied research is obviously problem solving research. This is how we try to see the basic research vis-a-vis the applied research. Basic research is conducted to expand the limits of knowledge, to verify the acceptability of the general given theory, or to learn more about certain concepts. How it happens in marketing? Take an example today. We might have seen several theories in consumer studies, like theories of disconfirmation or theories of customer satisfaction, or we talk about something like that. What is that? Elaboration of likelihood methods or change in attitude, like that. Several theories have been developed, and marketing as a subject or marketing as a text get enriched because of this kind of basic research, which precisely focuses on expanding the limits of the knowledge. Similarly, verify the acceptability of the given theory. Like an example, this suppose theories of cognitive dissonance developed by the psychologist in the context of something like behavioral change. But it becomes quite important in marketing, particularly modified as theories of disconfirmation, helping the marketer to change their own maybe promotional strategy so that it will be more acceptable to consumers, or their quality programs so that it will be more acceptable to the consumers, like that. So what it means, they try to expand the limits of the knowledge and also verify some of the concept. Is it applicable to them as a part of expansion of the theory? Similarly, to learn more about a certain concept, basically sometimes our knowledge is something like fog, or it is very layman's or something like rudimental. We need to have more clarity on them. Obviously, you have to conduct research. Similarly, the basic research also aimed at expanding the frontiers of knowledge rather than solving a specific or pragmatic problem. Because already we have seen solving the problem is applied research, but basic research helps in expanding the frontiers of knowledge. If you see the other way, applied research are conducted when a decision must be made about the real life problem. Like what the consultants are doing. Suppose the same example, how colleagues come up with this particular change in packaging and advertising or communication strategy to improve their brand image. Obviously, that is backed by what we call it's a real life problem, backed by research, and that research ultimately helping in taking decisions to change the packaging style as well as the communication style. Similarly, applied research aimed at solving a specific pragmatic problem, better understanding of the marketplace, determination of why a strategy or tactic failed, or reduction of uncertainty in management of decision making. These are some examples of applied research aimed at solving a specific problem. This problem may be a pragmatic problem, not a static problem, which is evolving along with the changes in the marketplace. Better understanding of the marketplace, because the marketplace already you have seen is dynamic, it's ever changing. So, how to have a clear or better understanding of it? Determination of why a strategy or tactic failed. Most importantly, marketing research is conducted for the purpose. Because suppose a new product is introduced to the market and it failed, it cost huge or heavily to the organization. So, marketing research can help them in determining why this strategy or why this new product failed. Sometimes also this helps the decision makers by reducing uncertainty. Basically, uncertainty of the environment, uncertainty to anywhere it talks about. Then the same debate, basic and applied research continues. Our focus is on applied research because we have already seen marketing research is more of applied research, starts with applied research, maybe ends with basic research, but more or less marketing research is an applied research. So what is that? Studies that are undertaken to answer questions about specific problems or to make the decisions about particular courses of action or policy. Basically, that is how it becomes applied research. Second example, the procedures and techniques used by applied or basic research do not differ substantially. Both employ the scientific method to answer the questions at end. Most importantly, whether it is basic or applied, the basic procedures remain straight. Like the example, you start with identifying the problems and end with providing some conclusion or solution to the problem. And scientific method besides talks about this systematic process of making the study, so it becomes or it remains mostly bias free. That's why it's called scientific method. The scientific method refers to the techniques and the procedures used to recognize and understand marketing phenomena. Basically, what is happening without scientific method, it will become something unscientific or otherwise called guesswork. And scientific method is different from unscientific method in the sense that here the techniques and procedures used to recognize and understand the marketing phenomena. Essentially, what we are doing here, we are employing some kind of techniques and procedures so that we can recognize and understand the marketing phenomena. One more thing is, it's again a systematic process and which is well defined, or you can say it is predefined before conducting the research. The scientific methods, otherwise called empirical evidences, facts from observation and experimentation, is analyzed and interpreted to confirm or disprove prior conceptions. Basically, this is conducted now not only for the first one, that is getting some new idea or the new something knowledge, but also helps in analyzing and interpreting to confirm or prove or disprove the prior conceptions. Our idea need to be confirmed. Our idea need to be proved, or like that. That is what we call the scientific method. Then nature of applied research. Marketing research studies can be classified into three broad categories. It's pragmatic, selective, and evaluative. What is pragmatic research? It is conducted to develop marketing options through market segmentation, market opportunity analysis, and consumer attitude and product usage studies. Essentially helps in developing options in the market segmentation. What it mean? What is market segmentation? Nothing but dividing the market into small and homogeneous units so that the marketer can better serve it. In this situation, this marketing options through marketing segmentation means when you divide the market and identify certain profile with a particular segment, and that profile get addressed through developing a new product, the chances of success in the market is very high. So essentially what we talk about here, develop marketing options through market segmentation, one part, one application of this. Similarly, market opportunity analysis. Obviously, different models are used for market and opportunity analysis. And what type of opportunity the market will provide, that is also possible through your marketing research. Then, about this consumer's attitude towards products and services. Basically, what we do in a consumer study, the marketer focuses more on understanding the consumer's attitude. Then second, the behavioral part is mostly the product usage. So consumers' attitude and product usage or product towards the product behavior are quite important for the marketer for successful. And both of them can be achieved when the marketers are adopting something called segmentation marketing strategy, otherwise called STP, segmenting, targeting, and positioning. Because segmenting, targeting, and positioning essentially helps the marketer to divide the market in smaller places, where the consumers constitute or have similar kind of background, that is called homogeneity, so that the marketer can develop something called a homogeneous product addressed to that particular group of customers. Similarly, it arises from management's need to obtain a market overview periodically. Means in a pragmatic research, obviously we focus more on getting the results periodically rather than waiting for the end of the period. When we are waiting for the end of the period, like an example of the financial data get gathered at the end of the financial year to assess profit and loss. But marketing data get gathered continuously and over a particular period. Take an example, weekly. Most of the marketing firms are gathering data over weekly. Why that is important? Because management needs to take appropriate decisions, because you cannot just wait. Suppose your advertising doesn't work, you can wait for a week or two, but after that you have to change it. Similar such example, suppose your package, you have changed the package and expecting that the package change will help you in getting better customer response. But customer response doesn't commensurate or doesn't compensate the additional expenses you are making. So these are some of the examples we are talking about as pragmatic research, which is also a part of the marketing research. For example, inadequate or overloaded market information to support marketing decision making. What is inadequate and what is outdated? Inadequate, obviously, the questions which you are asking, some of them are not answered, making the situation inadequate. Similar, outdated, whatever information you are having may be old one. And the old data, based on old data, you cannot take better or appropriate marketing decisions. The same nature of applied research continue. From pragmatic, we move to selective research, and it is used to test the decision alternatives. Some examples of testing concepts for new products: advertising copy testing, and test marketing. These are all examples of what we call selective research. First one is testing the concepts of new product. That is otherwise called concept testing of new products. What is that basically? When you come out with a particular product, it is available in terms of prototypes, and that prototypes made in a linear fashion, presented before the consumers for their observation or for their opinion. This is nothing but an example of testing the concept of a new product by developing prototypes. Or sometimes also you develop some literature and that literature is handed over to the customers to know more about the new product. Essentially, we are trying to test this particular as a part of the applied research. Similar advertising copy testing. Obviously, for two reasons. Pre In the pre-testing stage, we are focusing more on the look and feel, what we call. Suppose this advertisement is given to the audience or to the how they react. Second part is obviously post. What we call the post testing and the post up. We are trying to get the feedback from the market so that we can know whether the advertising works or not. There are some other applications of this applied research. It may be typically is concluded after typically is conducted after several viable options have been identified by the pragmatic research. Typically, what it means, a research is conducted after gathering sufficient data on several variable options, and then only this what you can call market research can done. This is one part. Similar such example can be if no one alternative is say clearly superior, the product manager usually will wish to test several alternatives. This testing of alternative is also another example of applied research because one single alternative doesn't click in the market. So they need to have variety in the market. And evaluative research. What we see here, pragmatic research, selective research, and evaluative research. In an evaluative research, it is done to assess the program performance. It includes tracking advertisement recall, doing organizational image studies, examining customer attitudes on firm's quality of service. If you see, each one of them are separate, like tracking advertising recalls. Very, very important because once an advertisement is there, it creates some impact on the audience or the customers. And the customer's queries will be there. And those queries get recorded, what other is called tracking. It is get recorded at the dealer's point or at the company's point and essentially help in recalling such information which is tracked for developing or designing a new product. Similarly, assess the program performance, tracking of advertisement recalls, doing organizational image studies. Organizational image study is very, very important because people are carrying different kinds of image for different kinds of organizations in the market. That's why organizational study only can help you in pinpointing those things. Next is examining customer attitude on firms, quality of service. Most important because in a competitive environment, it is the advertisement and more so examining the customer's attitude on the firm is very, very important. Why it is important? Because these consumers at the end is going to give something called revenue to a firm. And one of the important thing is those firms which are giving you better revenue need to have something called special status or the special treatment. And that special status itself gives some idea about firms' attitude towards service quality and other things. Need hello, ये बोल रहा हूँ hello, hello. Anyway,
Yes, sir.
are you
Yes, sir.
listening? You do not have any questions or something like that?
Sir, there are a few questions in the chat box. After
Okay.
completion, we will discuss, no problem.
Okay, after 5-10 minutes, we'll discuss them. Then we'll take up the next part of the presentation.
Yes,
because
sir. Yes, sir.
this conceptual part will be over after 2-3 slides.
Yes,
then
sir.
we can pick up them. Okay.
Yes, sir.
The need for this type of research arises when the effectiveness and the efficiency of the marketing programs must be evaluated. Because what is happening from the marketer's point of view, marketers are interested to know what is the effectiveness or the efficiency of their marketing programs. Like an example, advertising, one such important marketing programs. Is it effective or not? Because you can't just go on putting money into that advertisement unless you know that it's working, really working. So that is very, very important. And the marketers need to evaluate them from time to time. These are some of the managerial value of marketing research for strategic decision making. Developing and implementing a marketing strategy involves four different stages. Identifying and evaluating opportunities, analyzing market segments and selecting target markets, planning and implementing a marketing mix that will satisfy customers' needs and meet the objectives of the organization, analyzing marketing performance. These are the four different stages through which this strategic decision making can be made by using the information provided by the marketing research. What is this identifying and evaluating of opportunities? Obviously, opportunity analysis. Essentially, what happens through your environmental scanning, you can identify some of the important opportunities that is coming to you, and that evaluating this opportunity, maybe in terms of grabbing it, identify and evaluate the opportunity, and ultimately what is happening, work with that opportunity. First part. Second, analyzing market segments and selecting target market. Obviously, most of the companies with the limited resources focuses on segmenting the market and try to analyze their own position in a given segment, and what otherwise called target marketing. Basically, the segment where you want to operate, that is called target marketing strategy or targeting, otherwise called targeting or target marketing strategy. Similarly, planning and implementing a marketing mix that will satisfy customers' needs and meet the objectives of the organization. Very, very important. Because planning and implementing the marketing mix, and you know that marketing mix basically the 4P, obviously by the marketers, or the 4C from the customer's perspective. And this marketing mix, obviously how you will plan it and how you are going to implement it. That is very, very important, because that will directly have an impact on the customer's need satisfaction and vis-a-vis meeting the organization's objective. Take an example. Suppose the current example of Glow and Fair, from Fair and Lovely to Glow and Lovely. You have already changed the marketing mix. Basically, this is called changing the brand name, and essentially it's a feature of your product strategy. Obviously, the marketing mix gets changed, and you have planned it earlier. Now you are implementing it. But with this implementation of change, are the customers happy? And is it something satisfying the needs of the customers? Or the organization also try to see, is it matching to their own objectives, like that? So these answers lie in terms of marketing research. Basically, the information helps in taking strategic decisions. Similarly, marketing performance, another important area. Marketing performance mostly in terms of sales analysis, where you can see how your company is doing or excelling in the market. These are some of the important stages in implementing and developing a marketing strategy. So, deciding whether to conduct marketing research or not. The first one, the manager faced with several alternative solutions to a problem should not instinctively call for applied marketing research. What does it mean? Most often, the marketers are facing several problems, and several problems also have alternative answers. Basically, the alternative answers to a problem, and which one is the best? Which one is best? That depends on what is the result, what we are getting to your marketing research with. I'm making it more simpler. In a sense, in a decision-making situation where several alternatives are available, the marketer or the manager has to choose one of the alternatives. And basically, that is again what we talk. It should not instinctively call for applied marketing, rather should be something like selective. Similarly, the first decision to be made is whether to conduct marketing research or not. This is essentially answering to this question, because in the planning stage we are talking about the first question, identifying and evaluating marketing research opportunities. Sorry, marketing opportunities. Before that, we must ask ourselves whether to conduct or not to conduct market research. And the important arguments not to conduct are like this. In a number of situations, it is best not to conduct market research. Basically, the lack of resources, and there are two situations: lack of funds and insufficient funds to implement the decision. What it means, there are several situations where marketing research may not give you the best result. Rather, sometimes it becomes more expensive for the farm. And these are two examples of resource crunch or lack of resources may be leading to two situations: lack of funds and insufficient funds to implement the decisions. So research is further required in that area. Similarly, research result would not be useful when not to conduct. Clients may be hard pressed to use the information because what is happening, take an example. In the market itself, you might have seen the consumer product companies, they are already stressed because all in revenue, but that's why we call hard pressed. And that already they are having the information with them and they don't need it. So why to go for? Like an example today, you might have seen your favorite snacks like biscuits. Most of the companies, they are facing problems in selling their products because of two reasons. One, it is not because of the supply side, it is not because of the production side, rather the supply side. What is happening? You might be facing it difficult to get the raw materials and sometimes also the labor issue in the factory, and ultimately what is happening, your production get affected. Once your production get affected, the distribution channel through which it is coming, again because of this supply chain problem or physical distribution problem, the things are not reaching to the marketplace. Even if there is a huge demand for biscuits during the pandemic, because alternative things are not available. So what is happening in the situation? The clients may be hard pressed. Even if you are providing them, there is an opportunity in the market for more sales, which is known to him and which he has already experienced. But because of poor supply chain or because of some problems at the factory, maybe due to lack of adequate labor issues, so the information itself is not becoming so useful. Similarly, poor timing in the marketplace. Marketing research should not be undertaken if the opportunity for successful entry in the market has already passed. Like an example, suppose you are planning to introduce the product into the market during this situation. What is the best opportunity? Opportunity in India is the festive seasons. Starts with Ganesh Puja, ends with your Xmas or Christmas. So during these 3-4 months, most of the companies they introduce their new products, particularly the FMCG products. But what is happening today? That's why we talk about the poor timing. Even if you know that the markets are already depressed or hard pressed, people are having hardly any purchasing power to go for your products. So is it necessary to conduct further research? And or if you at all you are going to make a research, is it the right time? Because the time has already gone and the pandemic has already taken out the time. So these are some of the examples we talk about when not to conduct market research. Continuing the same one, the decision has already been made and the marketers have not used them properly. So in that situation, further research will not help you in any more. Similarly, when the managers cannot agree on what they need to know and to make the decisions, because most often this particular confusion really hampers the objective of good marketing research. Because wrong phenomena might be studied, because here you are not very sure about what is the problem, what you are going to study, and you are not in an agreement with or managers across the board what should be focused on. Similarly, when decision making already exists, decisions have already been made but not used properly or implemented properly. But here, decisions uh, decisions are already existing, and further research will be redundant and costly because already we have done it. When the cost of conducting research outweighs the benefit, obviously the guiding principle is always cost and benefit analysis, where the benefit should exceed the cost. If the otherwise happens, cost outweighs benefits, there is no need to. Potential new products with large profit margins may have a greater potential in during these difficult times. Okay. We want to just have a small comparison of deciding whether to conduct market research or not with two assumptions: small profit margin vis-a-vis large profit margins and the market size. Here basically you see what is happening when the market size is small and the profit margin is relatively small, cost likely to be greater than the benefits. small and with a smaller margin of profit, your total volume of profit will be less. An example can be eyeglass replacement screw. If you see, you know that a very small screw used to tight the screw in an eyeglass or in a spectacle. Similarly, tire valve extensions. These are all examples of when the market size is very, very small. And answer lies in terms of don't conduct marketing research. But when the profit margin is very high, like that, possible benefit is greater than the cost, even if with a smaller market size. This is ultra expensive Lamborghini type of sportswear. Basically, because it's Lamborghini, that brand name, the sportswears are sold, and which has a large volume of profit. Even with a small sale, you can have adequate profit for your business. So perhaps conducting market research will help you in this situation, because here the possible margins are greater or better compared to the earlier one. Similarly, when the market size is large, with a small profit margin, benefits likely to be greater than the cost. The reasons are quite obvious. It's the question of volume and margin. With a small volume, with a small margin, and with a large volume, if you multiply both of them, your overall profit will be more than that with a small volume and large margin. The examples can be like this. Suffers Trojan entries, like that. Press tractor control toothpaste, like that. Perhaps conduct of market research is recommended, because even with a small margin and higher volume, you are able to have adequate profit. Benefits likely to be greater than the cost. Large volume, large market size vis-a-vis large margin of profit. Obviously, the benefits will be likely to be greater than the cost. Obviously, market research is recommended. Like the example of medical equipments. Profit margin is high, so also market size is large. Medical equipment, one such example, high definition TV, HDTV, what we talk about, conduct market research. These are some of the examples we are talking about comparing market size vis-a-vis size of profit margin. Then, profound impact of internet on marketing research, because growth drivers of internet marketing research. The internet provides more rapid access to business intelligence and thus allow for a better and faster decision making. So the impact of internet on marketing research, because what we have seen earlier, we are talking about the marketplace where the consumers are scattered. So also your competitors and the distributors, they are scattered, and gathering information may be difficult, and timely getting information is also difficult. So, and that situation, marketing research, that the shape and size of marketing research is something different when we are using internet or we talk about IT platforms. What is happening here? Rapid access to the business intelligence and better and faster decision making. This is very, very important, because most of the decisions that the managers are taking are aided with this concept like your business intelligence. And this business intelligence is nothing but what is happening in the market, the information about it. That precisely helps you in getting better and important, say, faster decisions. Similarly, internet improves a firm's ability to respond quickly to the customer needs and the market shifts. Because most often what is happening, when the customer's needs are not attended for a long time, they move from your farm to some other farm. Because already you have seen the market has already become saturated and competitive. In a saturated and competitive market, obviously, this internet marketing, or otherwise called this internet as a tool, improves the marketer's ability to respond quickly. Similarly, the internet facilities conducting follow-up studies and longitudinal research, very, very important. Because what is happening? Internet facilitates follow-up studies. Because take an example, suppose you are sending a questionnaire to Google Forms. Ultimately, what is happening? You maybe some of them will respond and some of them may not respond. Then again, you can put something called reminder mail, and like that. So reminder mail and subsequent reminder mails obviously increases the response rate. Even sometimes what happens, if you have some what you can say anomalies regarding the answers to the queries, you can also send them back so that the right things can come up, and it's basically quite cost saving as well as quite speed. Similarly, internet classes labor and time intensive research activities, labor and time intensive research activities, including mailing, telephoning solicitation, data entry, data tabulation, and so on and so forth. What it means, the internet-based marketing research reduces the real-time research activities, where the students can sitting at one place can gather a lot of information, and that information also is associated with cost, and the data entry or the entry or the data tabulation and the reporting etc. become easier. So these are some of the important implications of internet in research. Similarly, the advantage of internet marketing research is rapid development, real-time reporting, dramatically reduced costs, personalization, higher response rate, ability to conduct the hard to reach customers, listen, hard to reach doctors, high income professionals, and top management in a large firm. What it means? These are the advantage of internet marketing over the normal marketing. Because see, rapid development and real-time reporting. Particularly in the banks, you might have seen real-time depositing is very, very important. Otherwise, it is linked with many other things. Similarly, rapid development can happen only through the internet because it's kept open 24 into 7 and all the 24 hours in a day, and precisely helps in developing or rapid development of different real-time reporting practices. Similarly, dramatically reduces the cost. Use of internet initially apparent looks to be costly, but ultimately become cost effective when it is put into use. So these are the examples we are talking about. Similarly, personalization. Any information which you don't like to share can be preserved in your computer by just putting a password. So that is quite important in the sense. Similarly, higher response rate. What do you mean by that? In a questionnaire, the response rate is generally less. So when you go for doing some kind of research, the response rate will be more. Ability to conduct, hard to reach, like the example of doctors or high income professionals or top management, you can do it. These are some of the important implications of internet in marketing research. Okay. Uh, we'll take a break, and whatever questions you are having, we can discuss right now. Please. Borda sir,
Sir,
please forward me some questions. Actually,
sir, one question I found in the chat box.
huh?
In this pandemic situation, how the research is possible?
Huh?
In this pandemic situation, how the
Oh,
research is possible?
research is possible. I'm responding to that.
Yes.
Uh, okay. In a pandemic situation, how this is possible?
Yes.
Two things are there. Already I have given you the example of internet. In a pandemic situation, when moving to the field is not feasible, and reaching to the customers maybe at the doorstep is not also possible. So internet can be a link between them. But what is the motivation of the customers? Why they will respond to your queries? That is one of the major issue in this internet research. But reaching to the customers or even to the salespersons or anybody spread wide across is feasible only through this. This is one example for collection of data reaching the customers. One. Second, during the pandemic situation, most of the sponsor research or organizations sponsoring research, they stop funding. When they stop funding, obviously sponsored research activities will be affected. And particularly research consultants that do not they will not work for you unless they are paid. And this pandemic situation, obviously there will be less funded research. This is one of the important examples. So what is to be done? Third can be, you see, if you are prudent, when uh, if you are prudent, when the market is down, you should look that there is some golden days or golden opportunities ahead. Unless you make yourself ready now, you may not or you may miss that opportunity which will be maybe very soon or which will reach very soon. Because by the time it reaches you, you might be not in a position to accept that opportunity. This is also another situation you have to analyze. So during the pandemic situation, research is possible only when the organizations themselves are interested in it and considering recent expenditures as an investment which will pay them good returns after the pandemic is over. Anything more you want to know? Please. It is possible. You can link to the customers through internet, and you can also get enough time to get the data. Second part is because of less of sponsored research. Obviously, the organization has to spend more, or the organization has to become volunteer. Organization has to become say take voluntary steps so that they can gather the data, which will be help them in making the appropriate strategy when the situation will change. Please, anything?
Sir, there's a question from Sakrina Mandal. Sir, which nature of marketing research should be done by the marketers during this pandemic?
Which branch or which particular area you are talking about?
Which nature of marketing research
Nature.
that should be done by marketers during this pandemic?
Okay. The nature of marketing research. Obviously, we have already seen three different types of marketing research. That is basically we are talking about here. Uh, I'm just going back to that slides. Basically, that will, these are the three things: pragmatic research, selective research, and evaluative research. So the type of marketing research can be conducted here. All the three can be possible. Take an example: pragmatic research, which looks marketplace is something dynamic and should be done. You see the itself marketing options through market segmentation, market opportunity analysis, consumer attitude, and product usage studies. These are all possible. How these are possible? Take an example. I have given already the example. Just after the purchase of a particular product online, particular online company, what to do? A link is coming called feedback for the feedback, and analyzing that information from the feedback will help you. Similarly, take an example. Before pandemic, you might have your own strategy. Now that requires some kind of rebrushing or some kind of something like focus. That focus should be more on something like understanding the consumer's attitude during the pandemic, their usage pattern during the pandemic, or even any such opportunity that is available. You have to also see from the consumer's data analysis. This is one side. Similarly, the Salesforce analysis, what is happening? Your Salesforce is also making an analysis of the pandemic and how long it will continue and what will be its impact. So basically, you have to keep in touch with your own Salesforce and your customers through something called feedback. So this is one way pragmatic research can be done. Similar the example of selective, you have to become a little selective in choosing what type of advertisement should be given at this particular stage. Like the example you're talking about, test marketing decisions, one such example, or developing a new product or a new advertising copy or something like that. Test marketing obviously is not, even if it is selective, may not be suitable because the market doesn't provide you adequate opportunity. Test marketing may not happen. But advertising can happen. Take an example, live voice advertisement. What is happening? It was giving an advertisement since long in the television. And the earlier advertisement more showing something like a doctor coming from the clinic, washing the hand, and basically focusing more on something like it's a carbolic soap, basically killing the germs or germ killing like that. But what is happening today in the advertisement you might have seen, whether it is live by or not, please wash your hands during the pandemic. Essentially, the message it gives, live by is shown at the background and asking you to wash your hand clean, keep yourself clean is nothing but an example in this advertising copy. Means it is quite effective. It has shown that because a live boy is shown at the background, even this cake or this liquid soap or whatever it may be, the sales have increased because of the effectiveness of the advertisement. pandemic at the background, and changing the advertising copy from not to just like cleaning the hand after coming from the clinic. It's something like clean your hand, whether it is alive or not. This is one of the good example of something like you can do some research. Even for the new product development, the two big things that has happened during this pandemic, the increase in sales of masks and the sanitizers, which were never in the something like in the minds of any organization. This has created huge opportunity that has brought pool for some of the organizations. So these are something called selective research you can do. Similarly, take the example of the earlier evaluative research. Now you get sufficient time to evaluate your own marketing strategy, what you have done in the past, and also readjust or calibrate it for the future. That is also possible. Hence, when you are talking about this nature of marketing research, it can be any type, whether pragmatic, selective, or evaluative. You can go for anything. It's not an issue. So the issue is how much priority the organization is giving. But one thing that is very important, you have to do something like cost effective, because the benefit which you search through your research should outweigh the cost involved in that particular research. Of course, through your internet, making research is not so expensive because you are reaching the customers almost free of cost. And whatever data comes may not be adequate, but can be something like predictive of the future behavior. So these are some of the issues we can talk about. Anything more, please? Hello?
Sir, there is another question.
Uh,
What is the strategy to promote university programs in these programs? TV media, digital media, or other conventional medias like newspaper ad, hoardings, etc.
for
In this
educational
pandemic
institutions,
situation,
for educational institutions, one of the
strategy to promote university programs in these pandemic situations.
okay, that's what I'm talking about. Promoting educational products. Basically, that is what the university is giving. Two important things that is very, very important in this aspect. One is students' admission, what otherwise called marketing. The institutions, whether it is university or college, whatever may be, they are marketing themselves for attracting students. This is one. Second thing, what they do, they are also marketing themselves in the job market. So there are two different things. One is something what you call, if you put in the linkages, market linkages. One is the upstream, the other is the downstream. Upstream is the students, searching for the students and their admission. Downstream is obviously searching for the organizations for placing the students. And what the universities do, they process the students, make them industry ready. In this situation, obviously, the advertisements which we suggest generally should be first to attract the students, maybe by focusing more on something like course curriculum, pedagogy methodology, and the facilities. Second side for the industries, taking their help in designing different kinds of courses or curriculums which will be suitable for them. And the universities should work as a link or a bridge between these two things, because here the students are staying at the home apart from away from the organization universities. Direct interaction with the professors may not happen, or with the let's say academic environment of the university may not happen. In this situation, obviously it is more challenging. Again, talking about the media for advertisement, media should be more in terms of what we call the mass media, like the newspapers or the television. And television has already proved to be more effective than newspaper, because most often what we do, we go through different programs in the television, and in between or in the commercial break, those advertisements are coming. So it creates a kind of image in the minds of the consumer, because when the institutions are away and the students are in their home, they can get something like visual impression about that institution and the curriculums or the professors and so on and so forth. This is one part. Obviously, television ad is more required. Second, when you talk about this outdoor advertisement, like your billboards and the hoardings on the roadsides, quite important, because that immediately attracts somebody that this is the institution located here. This is the institution that looks like this. Maybe provide some cue or clue to the prospective students. So advertisement, what I suggest, first obviously is television. Second, obviously, your this outdoor advertising, your billboards and hoardings. But one more thing that is important. To make yourself visible and believable, you should also be in the media. Media means it may be something like what you are doing today. This is nothing but a media work. Means people across they can participate in some kind of webinars or some kind of other work. You may be coming regularly in social media like your Facebook or WhatsApp, whatever may be, or sometimes also you are talking about the newspapers. They provide you something like publicity. Everything is required. But what happens really? Most of the organizations feel they do not have enough money to go for something like advertisements. So alternative to that is link with your media to your publicity activities, which will be less expensive but quite effective, like that. So these are the way. First, you think in terms of your customers, the students, and your employers, the organization, and the link to your curriculum and your advertising. That is what I am suggesting in a nutshell. Please, anything more?
Sir, we do not have any questions in the chat box. I request all the participants, they can directly ask the questions to sir. Any questions from the participants? Otherwise, we'll proceed.
Otherwise, I feel I should stop because I have a meeting at the university. That's why there is a lot of calls from the other side.
Right, sir.
So
Right.
immediately I have to switch on to that meeting because we
Right.
start at 12:30. So if there's no questions, we can stop right now. And I'm
Okay,
just
sir.
sharing the slides because there are several other slides which are left. If you see, there are something like 88 slides are available. Only we are somewhere
Sir.
in 20 slides.
Sir, last question can we take, sir? Last question.
Sure.
Sir, Supratim sir has laid in that during times of pandemic, how
Uh,
to do research in rural areas where the respondent group may not be too much internet savvy.
very, very important and very, very good also. But one thing that is happening today, you might have seen, because of pandemic, there is a different kind of environment that has been created in the rural area. Particularly the sarpanch, who is the head of that particular village or that locality, become more prominent and active. If you put in terms of sociological terminology, he is the most significant person to whom you can directly access. And using this reputational method of research, you can touch that particular person and get his opinion, and that will be more or less representative of that area or the village. This is one way. What I'm suggesting here, use something like your reputational methods, connect with the village head like Sarpanch, and get the information from them. This is one. Second, if you see in the digitalized world, particularly all the rural areas have been mapped. And because of this COVID again, there is an eye on what is happening in that area. So doing research, particularly in which type of research you are interested in. Is it something like your benchmarks, where we talk about the socioeconomic status of the people, or is it something like getting some feedbacks on certain things? Obviously, depending on what is your research objectives, you have to choose the method. Because rural areas today, even if we think people may not be something like internet survey, but with these smartphones and maybe with something like your cheap internet packages, they are accessing. Because you might have seen this particular example, online classes. What is happening in that? Majority of the students in the rural area, but still have the access to this online classes. Even you talk about this online tests, 90 to 95% students they are responding. So it's not so difficult because people are having this smartphone with internet connectivity so that they can be accessed. Otherwise, you can reach the headman and get some information from him, based on which you can also continue your work. Even this something like this NGO, most of the NGOs are working in rural areas. The NGO can also be contacted. The NGO can also be something like agencies for doing research on your part, on your behalf, or collecting data, especially collecting data on your behalf. Maybe you can adapt. What is the problem? That is very, very important. What is the area where you want to conduct the research and what type of research you are interested in? After that, you can decide what is the methodology to reach the rural population. Okay.
Sir, sir,
Sir,
what kind of
hello, sir.
hello?
Please, sir. Please.
Yes, sir. Please ask.
Please ask anything.
Sir, in rural area, is this possible? where there is no internet connection, then how should we do marketing research in rural areas?
What I have already spoken. Take an example. Suppose Hindustan Unilever. They are doing lot of marketing research in rural areas to identify market potential and the product consumption behavior. HUL is doing, ITC is doing, Dabur is doing, like many such big organizations. What they have done, I was a part of that because in the that is called ORG, Operations Research Group. I have done some work for them, and what I found, this HUL is at their client. What they do, HUL develop their own household schedules that has been handed over to ORG, and ORG and Mark what they do, they have their own agencies in every villages, what they call the market investigators, and they send that schedules to those investigators, and the investigators in their village at their leisure time get the schedules filled up. And now what is happening, earlier they hand over the hard copy, now they are sending it to the scanned copies, the scanned copy, they scan it and send it. Because internet facility may not be good, but it is there. You cannot say that it is not there, because you see what is happening. Almost all the companies are focusing on these different kinds of internet services. Maybe right from 2G, 3G, 4G, or we are talking about 5G. 5G may not be available, 4G may not be working properly, but 3G is working in the rural area. So getting information, what I'm suggesting here, instead of moving to household, getting that information, you can employ a middleman or you can an agency who will work on your behalf. This is one part. Second, these market research organizations like the example of Words and Mark, which is operating in rural Odisha, they have lot of data. What otherwise is called syndicated data. They have lot of data on rural areas. If you are interested, of course, that is on paid basis. They will share you the market research data on certain subscription. So there are a lot of ways. You have to think in terms of which specific area, what type of information you need, who are your target audience. After that, you have to decide what to do. Please, anything?
Any questions from the participants? Otherwise, we will stop here. No problem. So we are coming to the last conclusion part. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, we heard you in many occasions, and we love to listen again and again from you, sir. So you have explained all the concepts of research and marketing research beautifully. I hope all the participants will agree with me. Thank you very much, sir, for this impressive and informative session.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
On behalf of ASPM University, we convey our gratitude for being with us, sir, for the beautiful session. Thank you very much, sir. Have a good day, sir. Thank you all the participants for your active participation and cooperation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
very
all.
much. Good day, sir.
Sir, this section is completed or
Complete, sir. Complete.
some extra part is there to discuss any day?
No, actually, sir has to attend one urgent meeting in university level, so that is the reason we need to conclude. I'll share all the PPTs with you. You have any queries, then I'll share with the permission of our sir. Mail ID so that
I shall send it to your mail. So then,
any questions, then you can mail to sir or clarify your doubts.
Fine,
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.